Peace, y'all. How y'all feeling today? Well, yeah, I'm waiting to see how y'all feeling today. So I hope y'all comment on in the I hope y'all leave a comment. Y'all gotta talk to me here. But yeah, so basically I'm just coming on here just to talk about some things that's been on my mind today or like lately in general. Awesome. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Um, I feel I'm actually at peace today. However, I do feel a lot of heavy energy. Um, it's just I've been reflecting. Excuse me. I just been reflecting a lot on just like what you mean? You said share the live or share the love. Is that what you meant? Ashe to feeling well. Yes, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, it's been a couple of things that's been on my mind lately. Like, I guess the main thing is the fact that, it's just so many people out here that's going through stuff and they just don't know how to deal with it. Like, it's just like so much that goes into it. Like, yes, we are multifaceted beings, like on different levels. And it's just like, a lot of the things that we go through or the things that we're feeling, sometimes it's from us, sometimes it's from other people, sometimes it's from, peace everybody that's hopping in now. But yeah, the things that we go through, some of them come from just, our experiences as adults, but I know a lot of it stems from us being younger and generational type things, and also like just how society operates. And it's just like, I've just been thinking how the world is dark in a sense, not like completely dark, like it's so many beautiful things in this world that I don't feel like a lot of people like pay attention to, because they're so caught up in whatever they're going through that they don't recognize that one, there are blessings around them, it's signs around them 24/7 just waiting for them to take notice. Like it's so deep where, let me think. So for example, today at work, first of all, today for me, I've had tunnel vision. Like I want to say it's because I've been really tapping into working with my Changing with the Moon guide, and I know how much it evolved me the last cycle. So now I'm doing cycle 14, and today I woke up. So today the moon is in waxing crescent, and the waxing crescent moon is about planning. So the new moon is about setting your attention, and the waxing crescent is when you start to plan and brainstorm different ideas for manifesting whatever your intention is. So I just felt like the energy shifted a whole lot and made me think about things on a deeper level where I feel like most people don't think about. And as far as it's concerned, when it comes to like our feelings and our thoughts, honestly, a lot of it stems from us as children. If y'all have been following along with my tarot challenge, the last one, it was talking about how that I was having difficulty communicating with someone. And it's funny because in the moment as I'm typing up my interpretation, I'm just like, I can't think of anybody that's coming to mind, because I've been doing a lot of releasing lately where I've released like different relationships or friendships that I have with people, and just freeing myself from like doing too much, because like I truly love and care about the well-being of everybody. Like I just want everybody to be like happy and skipping in the park and holding hands. Like that's all me every day. And I've been okay. So going back to the post, I'm thinking like, okay, who can I be having difficult conversations with? And it's so funny and it's divine that as I'm typing up the interpretation, me and my son kind of got into it, because we were heading out where we were about to leave out the house, and he's just like getting impatient with me because I'm like typing up my post. I'm like, baby, just hold on for a second. And I'm also in the process of getting him used to me working on Moon Goddess stuff, because it's I want to give a lot of my attention to whatever I'm doing when it comes to my business, but at the same time I know that he wants to spend time with me and things like that. So I'm having to get him adjusted to be like knowing that I am around without us having to interact with each other like 24/7. Like he, of course, he wants me to play with him and things like that, and I'm and I do that, and I'll tell him like, give me a second, I have to work on something, just hold on, be patient. So like that's just something that I'm working with him on. And in that moment, after I made the post, I thought about, I was like, I can't think of anybody, but I'm saying I'm having this moment with my son, because I realized that for me, I am, because I'm evolving and because of how he came to me, the mother he met when I had him is not who I was authentically. So he's having to get used to me being me straight up. And, it's a big change for him. And, like, I have to work on some of my... So I realized I have to work on some of my inner child... I'll say inner child wounds, as far as, like... So, for example, for me, I always felt like I was unheard. I'm the oldest child, and I had to put on a persona of... Well, at least I felt this way. Like, I probably said it last laugh, I used to... feel like I had to be a certain way to set an example for my siblings. So I held a lot of me back, but my friends would get the realest side of me. So like when it comes to my son, it's like I want him to see me as being like this amazing mom, but I be having these inner conflicts when I want to tell him no about something. And then also my own... So like one, I have to get used to being able to explain to him in his terms why I'm saying something and why I mean it. And it's like, I'm not telling you no because I want to be mean and I don't want you to have anything, but I'm telling you no because, I got to work, or this money got to go towards rent and things like that. So it's just like that conscious parenting is definitely a challenge, because we have to be mindful that we have our own inner child things that we need to heal from, but we also don't want to project that onto them. We want, like I said, I felt unheard. And while I'm talking to him, telling him why I needed a moment to myself so I could focus on the card, he was so bent, he was so focused on proving his point, as far as saying, oh no, I didn't forget. Like, I know you told me I had to do so and so, but I'm waiting on you. Like, what's taking you so long? So I told him, I had to check myself, because for a moment I felt myself drifting into that whole because I said so thing, like feeling like I didn't have to explain myself to him, which is true. Like, there are going to be some times where you can't explain yourself full right out to your child. However, you could give them some type of answers to get them to understand it. So after I made a post or whatever, I'm still reflecting, and then I had went into my room. And then he comes in my room still trying to get me to come on. And I know I was taking a little minute, but, I'm also learning how to be graceful within my own self and make sure I honor myself as well. So, I had got to a point where I wanted to teach him about boundaries. So I told him, I was like, hey, I will let because he kept coming in there saying, when are you coming? When are you coming? I'm like, baby, you will know when I'm telling you it's time for us to leave, And, he just kept peeking in the room. I'm like, sir, at this point now, I want you to go in the living room and wait for me. And I waited just to see what he was going to do. And he was just like lingering by the door. And I'm just like, baby, all right. So once I came out of my room, I started having a conversation to him about boundaries. And I said that, well, I use real life examples, and I use something that I know something that he doesn't like. And I'm like, okay, so when you start to feel uncomfortable, that's when you know that you're crossing the lines of somebody's boundaries. So I was telling him, like, him kept coming in there trying to see what I'm doing. I'm like, you're crossing my boundary. Like, I told you to go sit in the living room. I'm coming. And I had to tell him, I'm like, look, I love you with my whole heart, and just because you can't see me right now does not mean I don't love you, or just because I'm telling you to go in the other room doesn't mean I don't love you. I just need my boundaries right now. I need some time to be in my space and my energy so I can check myself. Because like I said, I was starting to get into that point of telling him, like, no, just do what I say. When the whole time I know that he wanted some type of answer. He was ready to go, and he wanted to talk to me. He wanted to see me and all of that. So, I used the example with him, and then eventually he understood it. But in the extension of that, after that moment, we were good and everything. He learned what boundaries was. And then, I'm just going on throughout the day, and, I'm just picking up on different people's conversations and just how they react and respond to things. And I'm just like, I felt myself starting to get sad, because a lot of that is because people have not learned how to express themselves. People haven't learned how to be emotionally, like, have emotional intelligence and things like that. And it's just so saddening to me, because it's not their fault. It's from generational things. It's just like, like I said, a lot of us were raised, stay in a child's place, or, just do as I say. And what they say? Do what I say, not as I do, or something like that. Basically saying, like, do what I tell you to do. Don't copy me. And I'm like, but they're a child. If they don't understand you, they're gonna copy you. Like, if you don't explain to them, they're gonna copy you. Like, so that whole phrase is just dumb to me. Like, and what was it? Basically, how I noticed that people be making certain comments, and it's just like, hello, why aren't you aware of who you're making this certain comment to? Like, I don't know, for example, like I said, I don't like when people say children are bad. Like, no, they're a child, and they're doing what they think to, they're just experimenting, they're exploring, and they're doing what they see. So it's just like, don't make assumptions about children just because of how you grew up, or just how you seen other children grew up. And just in general, like, I feel like we need to interact with each other more on a considerate level, like, and understand that I don't care how old you are, we all have an inner child part of us. Like, we all want to be free and play, like, according to, like, adult things, but, we still have this inner child part of us that I don't feel like a lot of people pay attention to, and they're not even aware of within themselves. And honestly, that's the biggest thing, because everything starts within first. So it's like, if you lack self-love, how can you truly say you love somebody else? If you lack emotional intelligence, how can you be aware of somebody else's emotions? And then even if you are more aware of somebody else's emotions, it's just like, okay, so how are you honoring your emotions? Like, how are you soothing your inner child? Like, for me, like, I've always been such a giving person, but I know I had to face some things about me when it comes to self-love. Like, that's part of the reason why I would overlove other people, because I see a part of them that was or is a part that, okay, let me fix that. I see a part of them. Basically, I see a reflection of myself through whatever they're going through, or I can at least put myself in that situation and be like, oh yeah, I can see why you feel this way. And, I feel like when people don't really take time to do that work and start asking themselves, like, okay, what am I feeling, and why do I feel this way, and how can I get over it? Like, people don't really ask that. They just go with the feelings. And it makes me sad, because I'm like, society, like, all right, so one word that came up recently was microaggression. And, that's part of projecting. And when it comes to microaggression, it's like, when people be desensitized. That's like the biggest culprit in a lot of the drama that we go through in this world. Like, people just don't know how to mind their own business and do their own healing work. Like, that's why I make that quote, like, mind your spiritual business. Like, honor yourself, figure out what's going on with you before you start trying to check somebody else. Like, and then, like, if you get upset, you know, like, figure out what that is coming from. Like, what is it about you? Well, what is it about you that you find to be irritating about somebody else? Because you will find a lot of answers just by that. Like, your emotions are very good indicators. They will tell you what's going on, just like your body will tell you, just like a car will tell you. Like, I made a blog about that too. You know, when we have certain feelings, it's like your engine light coming on in the car, like, hey, if something's wrong, like, stop, check the car and figure it out. Because you don't want to keep driving around on your car with the engine light on. It'll mess up your car. So it's the same thing when it comes to our body. Like, we can't keep walking around with this anger inside of us and not figuring out where it's coming from. And it's just frustrating because I feel like it has more to do with that personal fear of, you know, just being honest with yourself. And I'm like, it's mind-blowing to me. Like, how is that the hardest thing to do, to be honest with yourself? Like, if anything, you should be able to be the most honest with yourself, like, versus talking to somebody else. I don't get it. It's like, because when you're talking to somebody else, you get to air it out. I guess I could understand it, because once you have to dive deep into yourself, you're sitting there with it all, like, swarming in your room, and you're just like, yo, what do I do with it? And, you know, part of what I do with Moon Goddess is, it's not even just, you know, using my tarot cards, because that's just a tool that I can use. Like, I know so much of everything, like, from elemental work, from chakra work, from inner child stuff. Like, I'm not saying I'm a pro with everything, but I do know a lot. I know how to help you find your tools. So, like, you know, when people come, like, my biggest thing now is I don't have much of a tolerance for those who want to come vent to me about stuff but not fix it. That's my biggest issue, because once I give so much of my advice or suggestions, and for them to be blown over like it don't matter, it's just like, all right, so what more do you want from me? Like, I have nothing else to give. Like, and then that's when it turns to me being nonchalant, and I don't like doing none of that. So, because I want people to heal and grow, but at the same time, just because you talking to me about it don't mean I'm going to be the one to heal you. Like, you got to do that yourself. So, like, when I post stuff like, ain't nobody coming to save you, that's what I mean. Like, nobody is coming to save you. It's like so many people walking around so hurt by various things and just, you know, different thoughts that come across their mind. And it's just like they're waiting for somebody else to come save them. Nobody's going to come save you. You have to take the initiative to say, well, to make a decision that you want to heal from it first and foremost. And then from there, the people that enter your life at that point are just there to help you. Like, that's why I say I'm just a vessel. Like, yeah, I use my cards and everything, but I'm just a vessel to help shine the light on the parts of you that you feel dark about. And that's like my biggest thing. Like, I have a huge attraction for that, for the victory stories. Like, because I know from my own personal stuff, things that scare me intrigues me, and I just want to know why I'm scared about it. Like, I'm like, trust me, I'm not into no dark stuff. Like, you know, people out here doing like dark magic and things like that. I'm not into none of that. I'm into the healing magic. Like, and honestly, magic is nothing, is mainly being able to transform things. Like, yeah, you could do things with like candles. You could do whatever you want, but it's all about the energy within you and how you reprogram your subconscious. That is the real magic. And, you know, that goes back to why fear is highly promoted, because it holds you back. Like, the truth will set you free, for one, and then what they say, the thing that you want most is on the other side of the door of fear, or something like that. And it just like hurts, and it makes me sad, because I can tell a lot about a person based on what they talk about, how they talk to people, the small comments that they make. And you know, two things came up today where I'm just like, yo, people inner child is screaming and crying right now. Like, it's wild to me. And I'm like, I see it all, and I'm like, hey, I can help you, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's still like a child. You know, how children, I say, for example, you're trying to help your child tie their shoe, and they're like, no, I want to tie it by myself. And you watching them do it wrong, and they're just like crying because they're crying because they want to do it, but they don't want you to show them. They don't want you to do it. So it's the same thing with us as adults. It's like sometimes we be hurting so much, but we don't want to reach out to nobody for help. And I know a lot of that has to do with pride. A lot of that has to do with fear. Honestly, fear is like the root word. You got love on one spectrum, and then you got fear on another spectrum. And I'm just like, people just running around like headless chickens because they don't know what to do with the feelings. And I'm like, hello, I can help you if you would just sit down and listen. You know, sometimes I'll let my son just struggle, and I'll just watch him struggle, and then eventually I'll be like, okay, do you want my help now? And then he'll take the moment and be like, yeah, can you help me? And I'm like, okay, thank you. And it's funny because that's one thing I'm learning with me working on my heart chakra, is to let people have their own moment of clarity to be like, yeah, I need some help. And ain't nothing wrong with saying you need help, because that's how you show self-love to yourself. Like, that's another form of self-love, to say, okay, I don't like how I feel, so let me love on myself so I won't feel this way. Just like we would do with a child, or just like we would do with somebody else. So it's just baffling to me that it's the hardest for you to do it when it's just you alone. And like, you don't even, like, that's the crazy part. That's why I always like promote for people to start journaling, because from that point you learn how to self-validate yourself. I know for me, peace, I love her, I love y'all. But you know, for me, when I was younger, that's one thing that helped save me. It was writing and music. Like, because music, it would say stuff, it would say everything that I felt that I didn't know I could put into words. And then with journaling, that was my version of putting it into words, like getting it out of me. And you know, a lot of people get have you ever like been around somebody that just felt dark, like they had dark energy around them? That's because they carrying on so much weight that they're not letting go. They don't know how, like, some people know what it is, but they don't want to work with it. And it's just sad. We just need more love in this world. And I feel like because we are so no shade to the men, but with masculine energy, with divine masculine energy, they're all about like thinking and doing. With feminine energy, it's more like God, you know, masculine energy is very intuitive too, but that's more of a divine feminine quality. So it's like, hold on one second. Oh, okay. So yeah, with the divine feminine quality, it's just like, that's where the love come in. That's where the more gentle, let me see what you're feeling come in. You know, it's a lot of, like, you could tell too, like, based on how people are, you can tell who they connected with the most, and then who they didn't feel connected to the most. So like, for example, for me, I felt heavily connected to my mom more than my dad in a sense. However, I still love both of them equally, but I felt more connected to my mom, so I have more of that maternal energy about me. So when I was doing my solar plexus work, the solar plexus, that's more of a masculine energy, because that's the energy of doing. So that's where I was backed up at, because I had to do a lot of, I didn't see that masculine energy around me enough to, at least, okay, so I had my grandfather show me a lot of that. And, it's nothing against, like, my dad or anything. My mom and dad just lived in two different states, basically. But, I didn't, I wanted my dad to show me how to do certain things, So I would pick up things from, my grandfather, and then like the guy my mom was dating at the time and stuff. But, I wanted certain things to be shown to me through my dad. So like up until college, I'll admit that I probably still felt some type of way. But when I got into college and I started to do inner child healing and forgive my mom and my dad for certain things that I wish they showed me, but what helped me to forgive them in that is my own humanness. Like I know, and like I said, back then in college, I didn't have a child. I wasn't a parent or anything. However, I knew that life is a challenge sometimes. And I don't even like to use challenges because that just have like a negative energy to it for me. I like to call them learning opportunities. So when we're faced with like these indicators, like our emotions and our thoughts just running wild, anything that's disharmonious to us is a learning opportunity. And I don't feel like people tap into that enough. If we tapped into it more with self-love and just that high vibrational energy, we will be able to overcome just about anything we set our mind to. And it's just frustrating just going out into the world. That's probably why I don't like going outside for real no more. It's just like, look, I'd rather just stay in my house full of my own energy and do my own healing work versus go outside and just see people hurting. And it's wild because as I'm walking up to my place, some guy, he's on the phone or whatever, and he's talking about, oh yeah, so-and-so going off on so-and-so. And I'm just like, there it go again. I don't even know what the conversation was or what the situation was. I'm just like, I already know somebody is hurt. They projected it on somebody else, and they don't know how to deal with their own feelings, or they don't know how to express themselves. And I'm just like, it's so many options out here. You just got to make the decision to do it and find what works for you. That's all it takes. So that's pretty much my rant for today. That's what was on my mind. And it's just like, I just want more love in this world. It's out here. You just got to be able to see it. So, yeah, anybody want to add anything to that? Want to jump on a live with me or something? Nah, y'all good? And also, when it comes to us being multidimensional, sometimes it might not even be a feeling, but it's something on a different level. We have the mind, body, and soul. And then, all right, so let me backtrack. You got mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. You got those different levels, and you can really see how they play a role with each other. All right, so today, for me at work, so mind you, I said I had tunnel vision all day. So while I'm at work, it's like I was backed up in things that I had to do at work. And at the same time, like I said, I wasn't really, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing at my job, but my mind was somewhere else. I was somewhere else thinking about all the different things that I needed to do. And it's so dope that it mirrored what I was doing at work. Like I said, I was at work backed up on, I was a little behind my steps that I needed to do at work. And in my mind, I'm thinking I got so many things that I want to do. Mind you, thinking about outside of work, thinking about spiritual stuff and just other personal development type of things. I'm I feel backed up in certain things. I got to get some stuff done. And the whole time I'm sitting at work going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And then also another piece of that on the spiritual tip, I'm I haven't journaled in a while. I haven't really written down some of these experiences I've been having. Boom, another backup. You know what I'm saying? So we really have to start paying attention because the signs really just be around us. We be having all the answers. Once we really start asking ourselves the right questions, because that's what it is. We don't ask the right questions most of the time. we be thinking too surface level. You got to dive a little deeper, and you can't be scared to dive deep. Like, yeah. Can't be scared to dive deep. You know, it's just like, you know, that little picture when you see like the iceberg in the water. It's like, a lot of people just be looking at the tip of the iceberg. I'm like, you know, it's a lot deeper down there. And then like when you even look at that picture, it gets wider towards the bottom, towards the deeper end. It's just like, yo, we got all the answers. We just gotta know what questions to ask and what we seeking for. Like, what's your real question? You do have to get like clear and direct about it. But oh yeah, I appreciate you too. Thank you for hopping on here and just listening to me. Yeah, I could keep going on and on just random things that I'm thinking now. Like, okay, so I'll tell y'all this. The reason why why I've been feeling like I should go live more, or why I have been going live more, is because this is me healing my inner child wound. Y'all see this? Like I said, I felt like I was unheard. So now I'm just like, I reached a level of comfortability within my own truth to be like, look, either you're going to fuck with me or you're not. And your energy will straight up show me if you do or not. Simple as put, you know. Because I was frustrated with people accepting. So when I think of us, honestly, our souls are like diamonds. We have different facets of us. Like, I joke with my sisters all the time about my different facets, but the whole time I know they're all me. It's just like, you know, I personify them as if they were like somebody else, though, sometimes. Like, that's the fun part about it. You can use your imagination. Like, that's why it's so important to heal our inner child wound, because we need that imagination, because how else would we see the bright light if we don't imagine it? Because it exists in your mind first before it exists in the real world. Like, think about it. Everything we see around us, somebody thought of it first. And then they was like, oh, let me make it. That's part of alchemy. Like, come on now. It's like, you really got to dive deep into yourself and ask these questions. But yeah, like because normally, like I said, I'll journal and write it out, but now I'm at the point like, nah, this ain't cool. Like, I can't just keep all my knowledge to myself. People need to hear this, because I know for a time I needed to hear this. I needed to hear that it's okay to, that's what it is. People are afraid of duality, of their own duality. We are multifaceted. We're not just we're not a robot. We're not like a random program. I mean, unless you choose to be, because at that point, you just like everybody else. You could be a robot if you want. But when you have that awareness of, oh, this program ain't working for me, hello? Do something about it. Figure out how to make it work for you. Like, that don't just mean, like, just go wild and be crazy about it. Like, you do have to, that's where the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy has to work together. Because if you just going off of feelings, you could do stuff and act, you know, respond to things off of impulse. But you have to be logical about it. Like, that's why we, you know, yes, we have like a physical gender, but we embody both of those energies. We have feminine energy and we have masculine energy. If you feel there's a lack of self-love, then you need to tap more into your feminine energy. If you feel like you don't know what to do, or you can't think straight, or like stuff don't make sense, tap into your masculine energy and just like learn how to combine the two. And then shoot, elemental work. Like, them elements are lit. Them elements are lit. Let me tell y'all, the other day I was in my feelings because I so badly wanted to say something, but I didn't want to offend anyone by saying it. So like, I felt myself like caving in, like, you know, I felt my inner child caving in again. I'm like, I need to do something about this. So like, when I started to feel myself caving in, I went and sat outside and peeped this. My sun sign is a Cancer and my moon sign is a Leo. So, your sun sign is, the sun is a fire energy, but Cancer is a water energy. And then a Leo is a fire energy, and the moon sign is a water energy. So, like, that's where a lot of my inner conflict come in at. Because, on the outside or on my normal self, I'm like this big nurturer. So, like, when I feel anger or, like, something that's not of love energy, that's when I have an inner conflict, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know what to do, like, But however, by me learning how the elements work is something that helped me to find a balance. So, like, going back to that day, I so badly want to say something, but I told myself, look, go sit outside. You need some nature. You need some grounding. Because that's what earth energy is about. And it's so dope that we're in Virgo season, because Virgo is an earth sign. So I feel like I'm learning how to do a lot of grounding when it comes to my water and fire energy right now during Virgo season. So yeah, I'm sitting outside and I just feel the sun just beaming on me. And the fact that I'm sitting there grounded in my feelings, it was just so divine. It's like the sun calmed down my fire and my water energy. Because on the inside, I just felt this flame. And I'm like, I know I'm not mad at people. I'm not mad at a specific person. I'm just like frustrated with the whole bigger picture of microaggression, Because it's nobody's fault except whoever was the first to be, whoever was the first to be, have microaggression and try to promote it like it was normal. Like, a lot of the things that's where I said, like, desensitization is an issue, because a lot of the things that we consider normal is not normal. Like, it's not normal to spank your child. It's not normal to, make sad comments to people just because you and your feelings. That's projecting. Like, it's not normal to make up assumptions and act like that's really happening. Like, I remember when I was I think it was in middle school, my math teacher broke it down for us. He was like, don't assume because it make an ass out of you and me. And at the time I was just like, yo, that sounds so profound. But the more I thought about it, I was just like, yo, that's some straight facts. Because when you assume things about people, not only does it make you look dumb, but it looks somebody else look dumb too. Or like, it makes, it just makes the energy unbalanced. So, like, say I assume that, I'm trying to think of an example. I feel like y'all get what I'm saying. Like, think about times where you assume things about somebody else and it won't true. How did you feel, and how do you think that made the other person feel, basically? Like, that's why it's not cool to assume stuff. Like, if that's when you need to go ask questions. And don't be scared to ask the questions, because other than that, you both gonna be looking crazy. Like, I'll never forget my teacher saying that. That's something that's been stuck with me since then. Like, that was in like 8th grade. But yeah, like, a lot of the things that we think to be normal aren't. And I'm just like, do you not see where the love is lacking there? Like, the way we talk and interact, the things that we do, it's like, do you see the lack of balance? And, like, for example, we have people that, drink a lot or something, and because they grew up around it, they think it's normal, but they're not paying attention to how it affects their body. However, that's something that was desensitized. Like, yeah, you can go out and have fun and drink, but be mindful of the balance that's necessary. And that's with anything, for real, because when you really start diving into a lot of the things that people tell you are scary and a bad thing, like, you'll really see the duality in it. You'll be able to see both sides of the story. You know how they say it's 3 sides to a story? It's true. You got your own personal truth, and then you got the 2 opposites. Like, your personal truth is where the balance is at. But yeah, I'm just going on with my thoughts at the moment. It's random, but I like wearing my hair up like this. I feel like a plant. I feel like a flower. Like this is the case. And look at my flowers. But yeah, what else y'all got on y'all mind that I could just go off on a tangent about? Look, name a topic. Say something. If anybody got nothing, I might just hop on off of here and save this on YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got is, a lot of the things that we think to be normal isn't. Like, if it takes you away from the love energy, that ain't normal. Like, I feel like love is the most normal thing. Like, I know one of my friends was just like, yo, we supposed to be loving anyway, so half of the time it just be awkward. Like, for example, like I know people that say sorry a lot. And I'm like, it's all love here. You ain't got to say sorry. Like, if you do something intentional to hurt me, then yeah, apologize or say sorry or something. But if you just say it out of habit, I'm just like, I smile at it because it's so adorable to me. I'm like, you don't have to say that. You didn't do it on purpose. Like, what made you feel like, because when I hear people say sorry, it's just like, what made you feel like you did that on purpose? What made you feel like that was your fault? Because then, boom, there's more healing that needs to be done. Like, why do you feel like you had to say sorry for that when you didn't do anything wrong? Yeah, man. I ain't really got nothing else, though. I'm about to go pull my card for today. I'm going to tell y'all something. This challenge, I love it. I'm loving it because it's making me see different parts of myself that, that I need to further master. Yeah. It's parts that I need to dive deeper into. So this challenge is definitely helping me do so. Like, shout out to Owl and Bones for this challenge. They put their foot in it. I've done some of their tarot challenges before, but I'm just like, yo, this one's hitting. It's getting me. It is getting me. But if y'all ain't got nothing, hell, and this gonna be my last thing. Moon Goddess is an interactive page, okay? So I'm gonna need y'all to be on here interacting with me. Let's talk about let's talk about it. Let's talk about something. Because, we go around with so many thoughts that we just don't talk about. We think we the only one in this world going through something. Or don't nobody relate to it. Yeah, the stories might be different, but we all be feeling the same thing. Everybody just want a little bit more love. And hello, Moon Goddess. Like, I seen the posts like, tell the moon what you want. I think that's like my favorite thing. My favorite post recently. Tell the moon what you want. And the sun will show you how to get it. But yeah, I guess I'll hop on off of here so I can go do my own journaling and catch up on some stuff. Yeah, the tunnel vision is real. I woke up today with a whole different mindset, and it's just so divine because we literally switched from new moon to waxing crescent. So I got some planning to do. I got some things to process. So yeah, holler at me if y'all need me. I'm here. I'm around. Holler at me in the DMs. Book a reading. I need to start doing, I need to post something for like talk sessions. Like, what y'all think? You just hit me up, tell me what you thinking, help you process it. But best believe it's gonna be some righteous reciprocity taking place because I be having things to do too. I be having some processing to do on my own. Cause like that's one thing about us being on Earth. This is the planet of learning. You're supposed to be learning, gaining wisdom and sharing it and applying what we learn so we can keep evolving. Because it's just like, you know, how can you expect the world to be a better place when you're not being that change you want to see? Like, I swear, a lot of these phrases sound corny or sound repetitive, but it be the truth. Like, you just, everything got a meaning to it. I ain't even gonna front. Everything got a meaning. I know sometimes I might be stretching it, but nah, it still got a meaning. I be trying to find meaning out of everything. Y'all remember my tapestry? That's my baby. I love this. I remember when I found it too. It was so divine. I had a vision before I seen it. That's how Moon Goddess came to me, through a vision. But yeah, I'm gonna hop on off of here then. So I'm gonna save it on IGTV and I'm gonna post it on my YouTube. Eventually, I'm going to start shifting everything off of social media. Well, maybe not everything, but I'm going to shift a lot. You know, I want to get off of here so I don't be so distracted by, you know, everything that's going on in the world. It's good to be mindful of it, but, you know, I be needing some peace from seeing it. Because, like I said, I see enough walking outside. So it'd be a little overwhelming having to come up on here sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna go. So don't be afraid to face some shadows. Don't be afraid to ask yourself questions. Don't be afraid to have conversations with people. Don't be afraid to have a conversation with yourself. Everything that you want outside of you exists within you first. So once you find that light, it's yours. It's so simple. It's really simple. The work is work. That's what I'm gonna say. But the lesson or how to do it is real simple. And just know that people are out here. Like, you just gotta find what you need. You gotta find who offers what you need. Like I don't even be mad when people just don't vibe with me, because I'm not here for everybody. Everybody's not my assignment. I can't help everybody. You know, some people just need a different style of love. You know, I just hope, you know, I don't like to say hope either. May everybody find the love that they need, that makes them a better person. That's all I want in this world. I'll be just as happy just to see you getting some love from another reader or something. Like, as long as it helping you be a better person. That's all I care about. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep rambling. Alright, so y'all be peace. Stay light. Holla at me.